relaxation. So nice to see you guys again here. Really excited to talk about attention because this is probably the number one problem that um, all of us either dealt with or still dealing with at some level. So I'm really excited to talk about that. Um, I see everything looks like it's working. You guys hear me okay, right?
Yes.
Okay. So I'll just make sure I hear you guys. So let me introduce the subject. So I will share with you today basically the reason, which you probably logically know if you think about it, but the reason why your brain keeps looking for or focusing on the sound, even though that logically you know it's not important. So like if any of you work with me, and I see here some names that already work with me, you are, I think pretty much all of you in the community. So you heard me say the same thing again, and you go like, what this crazy guy is talking about. Um, you know that logically tinnitus sound is not important. You know it's not dangerous. So you're thinking, okay, I know that, I understand this. Why am I focusing on the sound? Why I'm still looking for it, right? Even though I may have made a lot of progress, I'm habituating already. I have minutes or days or hours where I don't hear tinnitus. So why am I still looking for it, right? That's the probably number one annoying challenge that we all have. And the reason is it's biology. It's our brain, and this is key for everything that I do and everything that you will. If you listen to people that are reputable coaches or people that are specialized in tinnitus, you will hear the same. You will hear the same thing. Our brain is working in pattern. If you will pay attention when you learn a new skill, you have to try that skill one time. You're probably gonna fail. You're gonna do it again. You're gonna get better, and then you're gonna repeat it like 10 times, and then you become really good, right? And then something that you've been doing for years, now you're an expert. Now you are, oh, I know this skill. I can do this no problem. And when you learn a new language, it's another example I give to many people. When you learn a new language, your brain first, learn how to read, or I think read is first, then you learn how to listen, then you speak finally. And it's a lot of repetition. You can't expect to know how to speak a new language within a few weeks. You will know some things, you will recognize some things, but you're not going to be able to actually speak. And it takes weeks and weeks of repetition until your brain goes to patterns, and literally brain structure is changing. You are literally changing your brain inside as you learn a new language, and this repetition is what eventually gets you to speak a new language. The good thing is that we can learn in different things. We human beings can learn so much, right? The challenge is that once your brain learn a pattern, it's really hard to unlearn it. And if you think about tinnitus for a second, since day one where tinnitus appeared for you, you were like, oh my God, what is this? I'm hearing this sound, and we all have different sounds. If we now did a quick survey between one, two, three, four, five people, six people I think we have here, you will hear a variety of sounds. But the point is that the first time that we hear a sound or multiple sound, we freak out. We go like, what the hell is this thing? What is going on? Then you're just trying to find out, you start searching for things. Your brain learns that point that sound is danger. It's like a smoke alarm that goes off, and you need to find out why the smoke alarm is going off. And unfortunately, until you're told otherwise, or until you are learning more and more things about tinnitus, your brain got into that pattern of listening to the sound, listening to the sound. Here's another one. You wake up in the morning. You wake up in the morning, the first thing that comes to you, unless you spoke with me already, it's like the sound is right there. It's completely overwhelming my consciousness. It's like, wow, so loud. This is the first thing that comes into your mind, wake up in the morning. For many of you, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. The reason is because your brain developed a pattern, and the pattern is check the sound, check the sound. It's an alert. I have to see what to do with this. I have to find out. That is a pattern. And once your brain learn a pattern, it's really hard to unlearn it. That's the problem. So this is where, um, again, for some of you that have worked with me, it's probably clicking right now. But for everybody else, um, it's the way to break this pattern is by doing specific things again and again, and by consciously, repeating to yourself, I know that this sound is not important. I know it's not dangerous. I'm going to focus on something else. Now, you probably have done it 10 times, 20 times, 100 times, and you go like, it's not working. I've tried this. I'm changing my focus. I'm doing stuff, and it's not working for you. What's going on? But you will notice that your progress starts with a few minutes that you don't notice tinnitus. And then it becomes a few hours. Then it becomes when you're really focused on something, some activity, it's gone. Then you go back to um, between activities or
Okay, well,
between parts of the day, and then it comes back. It's like, oh,
yeah,
here it
so
is
you
again.
have, love you.
So the solution is, which we're going to go through here, is to change how you respond to the sound and how you change your focus. And the second part of the solution is to keep reinforcing to yourself that this sound is really just unimportant. It's something. If there was again, if you some of you guys work with me, so I'm saying something that may be repetitive for you, but if you have a refrigerator right next to you that is working and is humming, it's like the engine is working, you are not gonna spend any moment thinking about this refrigerator. You already know it's just a refrigerator. You completely ignore it. You do what you want. You focus on what you want. It doesn't bother you. What you need to be able to do over time is treat tinnitus the same. It's really just a noise that you're not trying to quiet. You're not trying to silence. It's just a noise. It's there. It doesn't matter. And when you are able to do it through, um, all the things that I share in the community, the CBT, ACT, all those different things, it takes time because again we are unlearning this pattern. But when you are able to do it, you will notice that okay, the sound is there, but I'm walking. I don't care. The sound is there. I'm not going to measure it. I'm not going to pay attention to it, and I can still do stuff. And then when you're able to do that, the last phase, the very last phase, is when your brain is starting to now um, acknowledge this. But this is not your logical brain that we are speaking to right now. Because right now I'm explaining those things. You can go, okay, either guy is crazy or you mean he makes sense. Some stuff he makes sense. Um, but your logical brain understands that right now. But your unconscious brain and your nervous system still respond to the pattern.
Oh, hope so.
But the last phase is when you've done all these repetitions and exercises and all, again, the work that I do with people, I customize everything to them, right? I work with them one on one. So when they get to the point where they really acknowledge this and the subconscious brain really accepts this, that is when this is the big aha moment, because at that point the brain goes like, okay, it's a refrigerator. I don't need to track it. I don't need to measure it. And that's when the brain starts filtering the sound and it goes to the background. It can disappear, or the volume can just go to very low volume and you are able to move on. So that at a high level, I just gave you the whole phase, the phases. You first need to, well, actually, you first need to relax yourself, calm down so you don't respond to alerts. Second, you are starting to manually do this process. You are training your brain to do something. And lastly, the brain just goes like, okay, it's not important, then I don't need to hear it. And then it goes back, goes to the background. This is the high level process. Now, obviously, me just saying that is not gonna fix your problem. I know. But I just want you to know that nobody's going to be able to tell you anything else. This is the process. That's how it is. And if you find a different process, then prove me wrong. And because this is how it works. And so the first thing I want to do, now that I kind of gave you this whole preface, is to ask each one of you, what is your main challenge with attention to the sound? And then that way I can collect your questions, and then we can address, we can give real examples on how to deal with each one of those challenges. If that's okay with you, because if somebody is okay to say, okay, my challenge is this with the sound, then like we can address them. Otherwise, I'll just keep going through my agenda, but I really want you guys to speak more. So if anybody is willing to, yeah.
I'll start. Guy, in fact, it was this morning. I've been sleeping really good, but when I wake up, it's right there, right in my right ear, and it's just pounding, and I got to get up and moving, and and it's like sucks because I mean, like tonight, this morning, I had one of my best sleeps in probably a couple months, and there's that tonight. It's just humming along. And I did the breathing, the 1 through 5, and then I said, it's not annoying. You're not important. You're not going to hurt me. I'm going to go to do something. I had to do something. And now it's calmed down a little bit, but I mean, is there something else I could be doing?
So when we get to the morning one, I'm gonna dedicate a section for the morning, because the morning one is really, it's complex. I know I had the morning thing here. I hope I didn't cut it out by mistake. Oh, yeah, yeah, here we go. Yes, I have a morning section that we will go through specifically. So, but I understand you. The problem with the morning also is that you remember this. You wake up from dreamland, right? You're in dreams. Your brain is in a different uh, stage completely from when you're conscious, awake. So your brain goes from not monitoring any sound except of your dreams, right, to being conscious, and now all of a sudden all your senses are starting to come into consciousness, and the first thing that hits you is like, bah, it's like that tinnitus sound. So that is what's happening. But I
Well,
wanna take. I can do it now. Actually, it's probably a common problem to many of you, right? Am I right? Yeah, I
I have
see
exactly the
Brian
same
saying
situation.
yes. The other ones I can see, but um,
well, Guy, can I
let's do it now. That's fine. That's okay. Yeah. So
one thing, when you say I do wear, I got a band, headband with I listen to brown music at night when I sleep. So I'm not in complete silence.
Good, because so when you wake up, you have some sound around you.
Oh, it dominates my morning.
Hey,
Good,
hey,
good. That
Mike.
that that's
I
Yes,
got a
sir.
that's
question for
good
Mike.
for now. And then this is something that I have to say. This is really important. Each one of you, and I know some of you personally, obviously, each one of you is in a different stage of your habituation. Some of you have 10% habituation, because remember, this is again, habituation is not, habituation means that your brain doesn't care about the sound, basically. It knows how to filter it, okay? That's what habituation means. That the sound is not creating emotional response, it's not creating stress. The sound is just there, and your brain just kind of say, okay, it's a refrigerator. That's habituation in a one sentence. So habituation is not a light switch. It's not on or off. It's a dial. I can be maybe higher on the dial, right now after many years. I can be, let's say, 80% on the dial. I'm just picking up a number, like a high percent. Somebody else can be 50%, somebody else can be 20%, and so on. So when we are talking about all these problems, just keep this in mind that some of you are in different places with habituation. Um, so what's happening? Like I was talking, so I'm going back to the morning now. So we're talking about the morning, and we are just explain the the brain, how the brain works. The brain works in pattern, right? So the pattern that you have right now is to check the sound. Right now, this is the pattern that is doing this for you. Because as soon as you are conscious, the brain goes like, okay, where's the sound? How high is the volume? What sounds do I have today? Is this going to be a bad day or a good day? That's how your brain works, literally. That's the process. So your main enemy here is this pattern, and that's the pattern you're trying to break. Um, so the really the best way to do that is to decide the night before. So let's say that now we are Saturday night, you're gonna decide, okay, Sunday night when I wake up in the morning, I'm gonna first do something. I'm gonna look at pictures of my last trip to, I don't know, Hawaii. I'm just something that I like. I'm gonna make breakfast for my wife. I'm gonna go walk with my dog first thing in the morning. You decide some kind of an activity that will keep you engaged. And then what you can do is like the next day when you wake up in the morning, you wake up before as you start processing all the senses and you get tinnitus is there, you're gonna go and engage with that activity as soon as possible. Now maybe walk the dog is not a very good example because you need to wash your teeth and stuff. I don't know, but the point is choose something that you can do right immediately, so it changes your attention away from the sound, from the focus on the sound. Um, so that is tool number one. Tool number two is don't stay in bed just observing the sound. Because if you, let's say that I just woke up from sleep, the first thing I hear is the sound, it bothers me. Makes me crazy. If you stay in bed and then kind of like, oh no, this is gonna be a bad day because I hear three sounds and the volume is high, you're just um, you're just supporting your brain, focusing back on the sound. So you want to change that. So you woke up, yeah, tinnitus is there, you're still not at the point where you can ignore it. Just get up and do something. Get up and engage, get out of bed. Don't stay in that environment because it's not helping you. So getting up as quickly as possible and doing something is probably your best approach. Um, just start something that you need to do or want to do at that morning. Um, and then I want you to understand something important. Just because you wake up in the morning and you notice tinnitus and it could be overwhelming, does not mean that you did something wrong, does not mean that you're failing. It's just a brain pattern. Like I was explaining in the beginning, it's just a pattern that your brain is used to. You're trying to stop that pattern from happening. So don't take it in any negative way to yourself. It's you're not doing anything wrong. It's just a brain pattern. You just need to teach your brain to stop it. So this is really important. Um, so let me see if there's another another very powerful um, very powerful technique is to let's say that I just woke up, right? I open my eyes, the sound is there. You again, this is goes to ACT and CBT, which sometimes can seem very simplistic. I understand. But when you do this again and again and again, they have a really strong power. So you would say, okay, I'm not going to measure it right now. I'm just going to focus on my day, start my day, and do something. So you are literally saying out loud, I'm not going to pay attention to it or I'm not going to measure it. I don't care what I hear. I'm just going to focus on, XYZ, whatever I want to do. By saying this, it's going to be morning one, morning two, morning three, morning four. You're going to notice, okay, yeah, I was able to switch quickly. It didn't take me half an hour of stressing about this. It took me just 5 minutes. And then the more that you do this, and of course other techniques, then you'll be more successful. Um, let's see if I'm missing something important. Um, Yeah, I think so. The summary is get out of bed, try to tell yourself, I'm not gonna measure the sound right now. I'm just gonna focus on something and do it, and actually do it. And another technique is just assigning something that you want to do, need to do the day before. So you wake up, you're not gonna spend half an hour thinking, oh my God, this sound, and I don't know what to do right now. You're going to wake up knowing, okay, the sound is there. I'm not going to pay attention to it. I'm not going to measure it, sorry. And I'm going to start doing what I already planned. That way, the attention here is going to stop and you're going to focus on what you want. Is that making sense, Mike? Oh, and everybody else, of course.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, mine's the same. Mine's like Mike. I wake up in the morning, it's there, and then when I go to bed, it's there, and
Yeah.
so mine's basically like yours, Mike, and it's just some days are all right, and some days, it's so. But he makes sense of getting up and doing something. Sometimes I'm just lazy though.
Oh my. Well, I just sit there in misery. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh man. And just like guy was saying, I just lay in bed. I know I gotta get up. I gotta get up. But tonight is just pounds. And like I said, I just had a really good, really good sleep. So, but I understand what Guy's saying.
Yeah.
Okay, now another trick, well, it's not. So remember, as people start the habituation journey, um, they will go from um, point A and they will slowly move and make more progress and be in different stations on the journey, right? So, um, what I was trying to say, the beginning, you can use tools that fit the beginning of the journey. Excuse me. So, for example, um, a very good technique, very simple, is like what Mike was saying. He's playing some sound around him. My, um, my version of it, especially if you have a partner next to you, is use a pillow speaker, because pillow speaker is actually conductive sound. It sends the sound to you by movements, not by, you don't have to increase the volume too much, and there's a good chance your partner doesn't even hear it. And you can use that, and you can let the speaker play all night. Why all night? Because if you wake up at 2 a.m., which is another very common pattern for people, then there's sounds around you instead of silence, and tinnitus like so loud. So when you begin the journey, having like a pillow speaker, or if your partner doesn't care, you can have a um, some kind of an ambient sound, like a speaker, a fan, or whatever, walking and doing the same thing. So I just wanted to mention that, because that is helping a lot of people. Yeah, Brian, go.
Hey, this is for Mike. Hey, Mike, I have a sound pillow that works real good for me. It's
The problem is I'm a side sleeper. I wouldn't hear it. Would you hear it on both being a side sleeper?
no, I sleep on my side every night, and the speaker's right there in that ear right there, because mine varies, goes from one layer to the left to the head,
Yeah.
so it doesn't really matter. You're still getting something inside your ear going to your head, but I say, and then some. It kind of works for me. Some days it doesn't, but it's just a suggestion. It kind of, instead of having you say you listen to speakers on your head at night,
It's a
music.
scar. It's a band, a headband, and they got little speakers that cover each ear.
Right.
You look like you're working out. You know, one of those guys, you put the headband, it's a headband with speakers inside.
Right, right. I used to have one of those, but I really didn't like it. But the pillow, I just kind of
I might
lay
try
into the
that.
pillow. But you
Thank
ought to
you.
check into it. It's and just see how it works for you.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Thank
Mike,
you.
I just wanted to say the pillow speaker you put under the pillow and it works. It doesn't matter if you're a side sleeper or I'm a side sleeper. Or you sleep on your back or your side, the speaker is still gonna hit you and walk. If that was, maybe I missed
Yeah.
the question. So
No, that's exactly right. Yeah. Yeah. Like I said,
okay.
it's funny you said your partner. Well, my dogs, the very first time when I had one that sat on the desk. My dog the next morning was running in circles because the sound, it affected her. So it was, and I told my wife, I said, "See, that's what I feel like. See how my dog's running in circles and and yeah, I had to. She didn't want to hear it. Yeah, so yeah, I've been down that road. Yep.
Yeah, no, that's yeah, dogs are amazing. So maybe that's where the
I'm
pillow
gonna try the
speaker will be
pillow.
better
I'm gonna
because
try.
only you hear it.
I'm gonna try that pillow.
Yeah, this I got the speakers are inside the pillow.
You go on Amazon?
It's it was from go look up sound pillow from
Okay.
Scott Ambrose or something.
Okay.
It's called the Sound Pillow. That's who I've had mine for years. It's from his first name is
Nice.
Scott.
Thank you.
His last name is Ambrosco or something like that. But he's out of
Okay.
Texas.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, so before I move on to the next part of this, anybody has any questions about what we already talked about? Oh, I see somebody's chat
Sorry,
here, and I
guy.
don't look at chat. So
You hear me okay?
we we can hear you if you
You
speak
hear me,
up. Yeah.
guy? Uh,
Yes, I don't hear you now. If you speak, I can hear you.
oh, okay. Yeah, I was just saying, like, my sleep's terrible, and I used to be able to have a nap sometime in the day, but I can't really do that. But when I do, I wake up and it's so loud, it's not even worth napping, So I guess it's the same idea, have
Yeah.
something to do. Yeah.
Yes, this is the same. It's exactly the same mechanism of waking up after the night. It works the same way. Your brain goes from one stage to being aware and conscious, and it's the same contrast that is hitting you. So that you would apply the same exact techniques we talked about. So before you take a nap, for example, assign for yourself something to do, so that way that you wake up from the nap, you start doing something immediately. Is that making
Yeah,
sense?
right. Yeah, I understand.
Oh shit! Oh, I think I lost your audio. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, I can. We can
Yeah.
hear you.
Oh, okay, okay, okay. Um, I see some questions here, but
Yeah.
let
Can I
me
can I
let
ask
me
a
go
question?
through my. I'm talking about the chat. Let me go through the agenda, and then we can go back to the questions. Okay. Um. So okay. So let me. So we talked about the attention loop. We talked about the brain patterns and how you're trying to break a pattern that your brain is already used to. But let me explain a step of the pattern that is also causing you a lot of problems. And the loop, so the pattern of the brain goes something like that. First of all, you check in for loudness. So let's say that you woke up from a nap or after the morning. The first thing you do is your brain checks for the loudness. Then your brain is comparing it to yesterday. Then maybe it checks for the sounds, because if you have more than one sound, your brain is checking different sounds. Um, and then finally, your brain assign emotion or importance to it. And that is the part that is the most controllable to you or by you if you practice it, of course. So for example, I woke up right now. Or this also is the same thing when I switch from activity to activity. So let's say I was working in an office all day, everybody was talking to me, I was busy, conversations, all that. Now I drive back home. The drive back home, all of a sudden it's quiet, and all of a sudden like tinnitus is right there, especially if the driving sound and all of that. I get home, the home is quiet. Now again, tinnitus is like over here. So it's always kind of the same pattern that you first notice the sound, you notice the different sounds, the volume, all that stuff. But then the step in the pattern, one of the step in the pattern is where you assign emotion or importance to the sound. And that is the part where you guys can start controlling it like right now. Now it's going to take practice. It's not going to happen like this, but you can do it right now. Um, and then lastly, the brain is kind of waiting for it to go away, to the sound to go away, which is another part. So let's talk about that specific step of the pattern where your brain assigns important or emotion. So let me just give you an example. So let's say I just woke up from the night, and I am now, opening my eyes, I starting to sense stuff around me. Immediately, of course, tinnitus is like right there. It's like coming. Now, if I had something assigned already to do before I went to sleep or take a nap or whatever, then I just get up and I go do it. That's one technique. The second technique is, like I said before, I'm just gonna say I'm not gonna measure it now. I'm gonna focus on what I want to do. The third one is if you start feeling that you're assigning emotions or importance to the sound, you gotta stop there. You gotta consciously stop yourself and remind yourself, okay, the sound is there, but it's not important and it's not dangerous. And instead of focusing on it, I'm gonna not measure it and focus on something else. So you're literally speaking to yourself and saying, I know that the sound is not important. When you start feeling yourself saying, okay, this day is done, it's destroyed. Oh, it's too loud today. Yesterday it was quiet. Today is loud. You start, why is this happening? You start thinking like that. You gotta, you gotta manually at this point just stop yourself and say, okay, stop. I'm not gonna do this. I'm gonna focus on something else. When you catch yourself in that moment, when you do that, you gotta manually change that response. So, and of course, there are more tools, and then you can actually take the CBT tool I just shared with all of you. I shared with all of you a card that has 3 steps in it, and I already heard from many of you that it's really useful. So if you're trying to stop it manually and you see that, okay, I just can't do it. I'm just keep thinking my day is destroyed, it's too loud, all that stuff, then use the card. Take the card, start doing the breathing to calm yourself down, start doing the grounding to change your attention. Like you're forcing your brain to change this pattern. And then the third step anyway is to focus on something. So perfect. So now you focus on something. Is that making sense what I'm talking about? Yeah. Okay. Any questions on that specific part? I
Oh,
again don't I know I'm talking you go like, okay, it's easy to say, but it's hard to do. And you're right, it's hard to
great.
do. But just like learning a new language is hard to do, it's not easy. But if you want it, if you want the new language, you gotta work for it. The same thing, you want the calmness, the peace, the focus back, then you gotta go through the motions. You gotta teach yourself.
Gray, I have a
And
question to that.
yeah, more.
Yeah, hi. Sorry, I joined in between. So, see, basically, for me, in the initial days, I was not going out. Now going, I'm started working. Okay, I'm started working. Only thing is like, I have a lot of things to do. I have rental properties. I'm taking care of that. I'm working outside in a shop. I come back
Mhm.
home. But when I like, for example, I'm sitting here. For me, the sound is not any more issue because I don't have any issue with the sound. It's there. I can breathing exercise and meditate for 1.5 hours. I'm doing every day for the breathing exercises. Everything is fine for me. No issue with my sound
Okay.
at all. I have it, but I don't care. But one thing I noticed is the initial enthu, right? I was always motivated to do something in the beginning before this. Now, like it's 17th month now, 18th month on the way. Uh, so I'm not able to, like focus is there, everything is there. But still, I cannot watch horror movies and all. But that enthuism, is not there. I have to force myself to do the things. Is that normal? Like, did you go through that same thing in the beginning, sir?
It's normal if well, I'm not sure if it's just because of tinnitus. I think you are describing a deeper um, response. I'm not sure. I don't know if it's just tinnitus, but yeah, I think you're describing an emotional stage where you don't feel like there is something that is worth doing, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's no enthu, like previously everything was very enthu. I go kayaking, I go fishing, I do everything and go to meet friends with enthu,
Mhm.
so much enthu, so much fun. But now I'm not avoiding, even though I go there, uh, but still I feel like, something is missing, you know what I'm saying?
Yes, I understand. I understand what you're saying, and I
My question is,
think
did you had the same uh, thing when you had in the initial years of your tinnitus?
no, I did not, and I think I
See?
myself not. Maybe other people in the group
Mm.
can respond to that, but
Yeah.
I think one the thing that you can try doing is maybe again just kind of manually help yourself go back into interest. So you make a list. You sit down one day and make a list of the things that you want to do, like stuff. Okay, I need to do this. I want to do this. Just make a list, and then until your desire or your motivation will come back, just follow that list. Just kind of go
Okay.
through the list and start doing stuff. I think maybe that will get you to the point. Oh, I did because here's the thing: the brain another pattern that the brain has is the reward pattern. Is when the brain gets a reward, it's happy. This is
Yeah.
why
Yeah.
snacks and sweets are so bad because they give us a reward immediately. So, but when you're going to have this list of things and you're going to start doing, okay, here's one, I finished it. Okay, that's cool. I did something cool. Then you go to the next one, and then you finish. When you accomplish those things, I think your brain will start slowly getting the reward for that, and maybe that will bring back motivation back into doing stuff.
Okay. Okay. I'm doing that. Okay. Literally, I'm doing that. So probably the difference is, in the initial time of the tinnitus occurrence, some people don't have sleep issue. I had sleep issue for 6 months, and then I started taking clonazepam. Now I'm not taking clonazepam. Stopped. I'm taking only the trazodones for sleep. Okay, which I am tapering. I think people without sleep issue, they don't have any issue at all. No issue with the word, no issue with anything. But yeah, people who had sleep issues, those are the one really, believe me, like it's very hard for you to understand. But at the same time, I can understand what you probably went through. You had a struggle with the sound, and then you were able to cope up with it and manage it. I understand, but this,
I
there is a
think,
very
but
different
Ron,
pattern here. Yeah.
let me just stop you for a second. I think
Sorry.
I worked with I don't even know how many because I never counted, but a lot of people,
Okay.
and you can't make that assumption. Each
Okay.
person is experiencing something different. That is
Very
something I noticed. It's like one person would have this problem and a different problem. One person would have a different challenge. It's impossible to say all people will experience something.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would try what I told you to make a list of things and start doing them and see if that will help you. And if you want, we
Ye-
can take some
Yeah.
time and speak about
Yes,
that.
yes, I'm doing that. 100% I'm doing that. Because I have a lot of work to do also, because office work and properties work, other do it myself works, many things. Trying to pull in
Yeah.
my beauty of life again. That's where I'm not getting that beauty of life. That's the only thing. Thank you.
Yeah, try that. And then, you know how to message you directly. So we can tell me if we can speak different time. Yeah. So before I want to see if I want to cover a few more things here. Um, so remember also another thing that I was. Let me just kind of. Oh, where my mouse now has disappeared. Okay, here we go. Okay, one question. I'm kind of trying to monitor the questions at the same time. So give me a second here. So uh, Mike was asking. One of my questions is when I wake up to go to the bathroom. I get back into the bed and tea is quiet. But how can I prevent the mind from thinking about it? Why do you get back to sleep? So when you get back to sleep, yeah, it's a different scenario. Um, I think you, so I'm answering Mike's question. I'm not sure which Mike is this, but I think at this point you don't want to start doing stuff. Obviously, you're trying to back to sleep, and you're just gonna use the tool to say, I'm just not gonna monitor it right now. I'm gonna consciously avoid monitoring it, and I can do deep breathing to go back to sleep. Just trying to change your attention, manually change your attention away from it. And and again, maybe play some sounds in the background so you focus on the sound instead of the tinnitus sound. And because I think now it's conversation between people, that's okay. Okay, so let me see if there's other things I want to cover before I give it to you guys. No, I think that's pretty much, yeah. I think I covered everything that I want to cover. So now it's you guys. I'll get ask me any questions. We can deal with specific situations and different challenges. Um, so the floor is yours, guys.
I have a question. I'm having a lot of issues dealing with the unpredictability of the sound, how it's going to be the next day. It's like I didn't have a good day yesterday. It was very challenging. I was hoping this morning I would wake up and it'd be calmer, which has happened to me before, that I've had a challenging day and then the next day it's like, okay, we can do this. So it's not happening today. I'm having another challenging day. So that builds a lot of anxiety because I'm like, okay, what's going on? How come it's not calmer today? So I'm going about my business. I'm doing things. I met my grandkids for breakfast, so I didn't cancel that. I went ahead and, to try to participate and do things. But now I'm like, latching on, I guess, to the sound, compared to how it was maybe a few days ago. And that just, I'm having a lot of trouble with that, with just like, okay, let's, going through the steps that you and I have gone through. So I do that, and still my brain, goes, because I have it in the right ear, to this ear to hold on to it. Do you have any ideas as to what I can do?
Yeah, so
That can
let's
help.
actually you brought up something that I didn't mention directly, so it's kind of good question. Thank you. um, so if you think all of you, not just Patricia, everybody, think what makes the sound important? Why is it important? So because that I started to talk about this at the beginning. At the beginning, we talked about this. If you had a refrigerator walking next to you, or traffic, or it doesn't matter, whatever sound that you want to think that you already ignore, there's sounds that all of you already ignore. I know that for a fact. It's not a question. So if you have one of those sounds that you don't think about twice, um, what is the difference between that and tinnitus? Why there's a difference? And if you think about, Patricia, if you think about what makes the
Yeah.
difference between traffic that goes outside or refrigerator to tinnitus, why is it different for you?
To me, the difference is that I can walk away from my refrigerator. I can go to an area. The traffic is going to change, but this situation is with me all the time, or
That's true. That's true.
most of the time. So i- if I'm having a day in which it is calmer, then I can, it's easier to just put it in the background, you know. But if it's a day like yesterday and I'm having today, it really is very hard to just to go about my business. And then I even start feeling the heart palpitations and the anxiety, go up. It just really makes it difficult to enjoy anything.
But the good thing I have to say though, you just said it yourself. I have to just acknowledge this. You are not stopping, you're still doing the activities that you wanted to do. So first of all, now I'm in a meeting with a lot of you, so I don't have this option. Where is it? Here. So I don't know if you guys see it or not, but
Yeah, I see
so
it.
this is awesome. First of all, not letting tinnitus control what you do is a win. So first of all, give yourself a pat on the back. But let me answer your question. Why it's important? Because your brain right now thinks that the sound means something. It's the meaning of the sound that your brain associates with something negative. So, for example, I have this sound that means that it's never gonna change, or something is wrong with me, something is wrong with my brain or with my hearing or whatever. Um, it's maybe it's gonna get louder. Maybe why is it changing? So your brain is associating some voice or importance to the sound, and that's why it's harder for you to let it go when it's more permanent, right? But if you remind yourself again, remember at this point, or it's someday on some days, you have to do this manually. You have to remind yourself like, what proof do I have? What do I have to show me that this sound means anything meaningful in my life? So this is where you apply another. This is a CBT technique, and you are saying, okay, I'm worried about the sound. I'm worried that the sound can cause me brain damage. I'm worried that it's going to get louder. But then you can question that and say, if I told this to my best friend, or we can all play a best friend for a second, and we can say, what proof do you have that this is going to stay like this? Or what proof do you have that this is going to actually make that change, or create an health problem that you're worried about? And when you start thinking that way, you go like, well, actually, I don't, unless anybody has. Could nobody have a proof because it doesn't. Unless your tinnitus is a result of a physical condition, which can definitely happen, but it's a different condition. Um, there's just no proof that just perceiving tinnitus is causing anything. In fact, there are like millions of people that are living with tinnitus every day, and they keep living and they keep doing their things. And of course, people are affected in different ways, but when they start working on this, they are able to move forward, just like you are doing already. You are doing your things. So, that's the way I would say. If you're worried about a specific worry, then you say, what proof do I have that this is going to actually happen? And you pretty quickly find that you will find out that there's no proof. And if you have a good friend that you can ask, have this conversation with, then do it. Because then as you're speaking with someone else that comes from a different perspective, they're going to start talking with you, and kind of the conversation can help you maybe get this understanding that, okay, I don't have any proof for this. So maybe it's just a sound that I just don't need to think about twice, you know. Yeah, Brian.
Yeah, this is like for Patricia, for everybody here. Um, when you say like a best friend, is it a friend that have had tinnitus or still does, or somebody that doesn't? Because when you talk to somebody that's never had it, it's very hard for them to understand how you feel or how it affects your
That's
life,
true.
you know. And so, and I have a neighbor that has it too, and we talk a lot, but I don't talk too much about it. Uh, but so I think that's kind of a hard question to ask regular people. That some people says, what is tinnitus? You know, and so forth. So I think I guess that's an individual situation. You know, how do you address that,
No,
guy?
I understand. You're right that people who don't have tinnitus don't understand it. And that's why we here support each
Right.
other. This group exactly. And but you can have a conversation with someone that cares about you, like maybe again a partner, a
Yeah.
friend, even if they don't understand. No, sorry, even if they don't experience tinnitus like you, if they care about you, they can still have a conversation with you, I think.
Yeah.
So either you find someone that have tinnitus and can be a friend, I'm sure, or, or I'm just joking, I'm sorry, but or you find someone that cares about you, like a partner or family or friend that will listen to you. You can explain, okay, I feel this. This is what's happening to me. This is what I'm worried about. I'm worried about this, and this. And then they can have a conversation with you, even if they don't perceive tinnitus, they don't experience it. They still care about you, and they can have a conversation. I mean, that is the second best. Maybe if you have someone that does have tinnitus and some experience with it, can also be, of course, a good session, the good person. I would caution though from going on a public social group that is not our community, for example. See, the reason I created our community is because it's people exactly like us. It's
Yeah.
everybody there is us, basically. And so I know that people ask questions all the time, and we respond to it, or somebody respond to it, and I don't have to worry that somebody's getting like a really unproductive response. So in our community, ask those questions. Why? Yeah, it's a good idea. Ask, hey, I'm worried that tinnitus is going to cause this, and this is why it creates stress for me. It creates emotional response. And then if you guys notice, I'm trying to, when somebody's asking a question now, I'm really trying just to leave it alone and not respond to you. It's not nothing against you. I'm trying you guys to answer each other first. That's what I'm trying to do. Um, but if you go on a Facebook group and ask the same question,
Right.
you're gonna get so much, I don't know what word to use here, so much misinformation and bad information that it's gonna bury you for a week of despair. So that's why I would caution again, don't go to groups that are not like our group, because the responses you get are not gonna be helpful. Um, if that makes sense. So either you ask it in community like us or our community, or you find someone that cares about you and can listen to what you experience and try to help you think.
Yeah, you're right. This is for Patricia. Patricia, are you married?
Yes, I am.
What does your husband, because you see, my wife has it too, but she's had it way before I met her, and she just knows how to tune it right in or tune it right out. And, and she understands, and she's always not yelling at me, but talking to me. Said, Brian, she's good with it, so we joke a lot about it. But Patricia, how does your husband uh, think about your situation? Does he understand?
No, he doesn't. And he gets very annoyed. He wants to go back to the times in which I didn't have tinnitus, and we could go out dancing, and we could go out and do a lot of things that right now, at least at this point, I just don't feel comfortable doing. I also have the sound sensitivity, so yeah, but no, he doesn't really get it. I think he tries, but he doesn't really understand, and it's a problem. It
Yeah.
really is a problem.
I have to add something here really quickly. Um, you you can get lucky and have someone that gets it and or you or not. And but I can tell you, I want to just share something. My wife is not here yet, but she is very compassionate and she supported me. She's the one that pushed me to get hearing aids like gazillion years ago, and kind of go through this. But despite that, because they don't experience what you experience, she can still do stuff that can drive you up the walls, like especially with sound. No, I'm
Yeah.
serious. She's not doing this on purpose. It's they just don't understand what we experience, right? So she can be very loud when she speak on the phone, especially on speakerphone, and stuff like that. So sometimes they just don't understand. It's so
Right.
even if you have someone, your partner that is compassionate, it still doesn't mean I will understand exactly what you experience. Yeah, I just
Right.
wanted to say that. Is there and I saw that I don't know if Mike is still here. Yeah, I think he's here, right? So Mike, do you mind if I'll try to answer your question specifically? Um, So I think you're saying that you asked a question about the night, going back to sleep, and you're saying that you're still guarded. So it's kind of the same thing. I'm not sure if he's hearing us or not. It's kind of the same thing where you assign in your brain, you assign the sound with something that is important or there's a worry assigned to it. And when you do that, it gives it the power to bother you and to you still guard from sound, you still guard from that because you're still assigning some importance or worry to the sound. Am I right?
Yeah, you are, Guy. You're right. It's yeah, exactly. I'm like I said, I'm coming along a lot better, but yeah, there's still the nighttime thing because you have a really good day and then you hit the pillow and then all of a sudden, for whatever reason, it shows up. And then I go to bed and sleep. The other thing I wanted to ask somebody um, was, or is everybody on like some sort of sleep aid? Because I'd like to get off mine. I'm just curious if anybody has any
I am.
suggestions.
I am.
Yeah.
I do take a
Any,
sleeping pill every night.
yeah. See, I'm on something as well, this Aromarazepam, but I had to get off this thing, truthfully, because it's got some side effects. I just not sure. I'm about 7 months into this, so I'm not sure if that's going to be doable, but I really like to get off it. And I'm wondering if anybody has anything suggestion naturally or something that they're not taking some sort of sleep aid.
I'll just quickly say something. The only thing I know which is natural, there are a few things that you can try, but some people, you see, this is another luck thing. Some people are lucky that those things work for them.
Mhm.
I am not, for example. So if you combine stuff like melatonin, which is under 1 milligram, some people take melatonin 3 milligram, 5 milligram, 10 milligrams, some crazy stuff. You're actually doing the opposite. You're actually waking yourself up because your body generates, I forget the amount, but very small amounts. If you take a lot of melatonin per night, it's not going to help you. You have to take 1 milligram or half milligram every time. And you can combine it with magnesium. The combination can be pretty good because it helps your brain goes into the natural sleep patterns and relaxing your muscles. The magnesium helps you relax muscles, kind of relax tension. And there's another one that I forgot the name that I tried, and it was a little bit helping. If you guys will talk to each other 1 second, I can actually run and grab it quickly and come back. So I'll show you the other one. Just give me a second.
Sure.
Sorry, I'm back. Oh, I thought I muted myself. I guess I didn't. So the last one is glisten. I don't know if you guys can see it. And I will type it. I will type it in the chat. This is an amino acid. It's natural, and it also supports sleep. So you can combine really the three of them. You just need to take glycine and magnesium and actually melatonin around 25, 30 minutes before you'll be sleeping. And if you take them every day, there's a chance that it will help you. It takes at least, I think, a week or two to build in your system to start being effective though. So don't take it and go like, oh, it's been 3 nights, it's not doing anything. So there's no point. You have to take them for at least, I think, at least 2 weeks to start making a difference. But they don't make a difference for me, for example. So it's a it's a lucky thing, I guess, with those things. These are the natural things that I know about.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'll chat this here. So it's a melatonin and magnesium, which I probably misspelled, of course. And then the last one is glycine. Glycine. These are the three that I know that are helping some people. Some people are really finding these helpful, and they're natural. These are all natural stuff. And yeah, just natural materials. No, nothing. Okay. So Mike, if I may ask you, what Patricia told us, for example, what she's worried about. What is the worry that is um, kind of holding you from just letting go for the sound?
Well, for me now, I even put in the question that all of a sudden now I got high blood pressure. So unfortunately with me, I'm a worry person to start. So now that's consuming my day. So, it's just like I said, I was telling my wife today that my middle name is worry. So that's not a good combination when you have tinnitus if you worry a lot. So, you're worried about your health all the time. That can really set you back. So your nervous system never actually settles down, especially at night when you go to bed, when you have time to think, right? So I think those are the things that have I'm better than I was, but I could probably be further ahead if I wasn't such a worrier. So that's for me. That's my how why I probably don't sleep as well as I should at night.
So not sleeping enough, that is the problem. That is the main
Yeah,
problem.
like I said, intermittent, right? Like I'll get up. Unfortunately, I can't go through the night because I don't know, just I have to get up to the washroom and then as soon as you get up, go back to bed. But just recently, it was more recently now because of this high blood pressure thing is driving me nuts. So I'm trying to overthink it. And then it's I get broken sleep throughout the night. And we know what happens with tinnitus when you get broken sleep, right? It's not good. It's not a good combination.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay, so maybe it's like more personal. So if and whenever you want, you can just message me and we can take
Yeah,
it
sure.
further.
That's fine. I don't have a problem saying it. It's just, yeah, it's
Okay.
probably worry.
So
Yeah.
so is there any other question, guys, that I can answer at this point? Did I provide enough information about why it's happening and how you can disarm the importance and have habits to focus away from the sound itself? Do you have any questions about that?
I have a question. The one
Yeah, Brian,
about
go.
I think we're all right there is it's I think the thing is letting it go. Maybe we could have a round on that. Maybe you could go through about if everybody says let it go, but it's very hard to it's more difficult to let it go. But I think, like you say, consistency about where you to go, then it lets it go. But it's still hard to let it go when it follows you around to the grocery store, to the bedroom, and you could. So I understand because I understand.
I think um, if each one, because again, each one of us is worried about something different. I think somebody's typing, but I don't see what they're typing. I don't know. But each one of us, we are six different people here. Each one of us have a worry that we assign to tinnitus or an emotion. And so it's different. It may be similar, but it's different between us. If we take the time to question ourselves, or in a community, or with someone that you trust and feel comfortable doing that, talk about this worry, about this concern, or about this emotion. That is a good way to try and let it go. And when your brain stops assigning that emotion or worry to tinnitus, that's when you're going to let the sound go. The thing is that you can have the sound, you can be aware of the sound, and still not assign importance to it. So, for example, we can be now in this meeting. Um, if I'm quiet for a second, I can hear my tinnitus, right? But while I'm in a conversation or while I'm doing stuff, I can still hear my tinnitus. It's a sound. I hear it, but it's there. I'm not trying to fight with it. It's just there, and I still do other stuff. So this is the mid phase. The middle phase is where the sound is there, but it doesn't create an emotional or a worry. So it's just there. The sound is here. Okay, it's continuing, but it's fine. I keep doing what I want to do, what I need to do, and without assigning importance to it. That is that phase that you guys are trying to get to right now. So um, I'll be more than happy, to you guys can chat me, or we can do a Zoom or whatever and talk about that specific worry or that specific emotion. Because I think once you address that, you will be able to move on. And it's just treat this as a sound, not assigning importance to it. And I can tell you again, lucky me, right? I have another condition that most of you, that as far as I know, none of you have. And there's, I think, another person in the community that has it. That has to do with the middle ear muscles spasming. And I caught myself, I'm telling you about tinnitus, like, okay, don't try to disarm the worry or the concern that you have with the sound, with tinnitus sound. I caught myself because I had a time where this thing just disappeared and didn't bother me for a while. And all of a sudden, we are going through some sort of changes here and some things, and um, maybe I'm stressing myself out by trying to do a lot, and it kind of came back. And immediately I started to, like, respond with emotions. And I was like, wait a second, I'm doing exactly the same thing what people do with tinnitus, I'm doing with this condition. Because this is a physical condition that can literally think that you're trying to go to sleep and somebody is doing this to you inside your ear. It's like, it's very hard to ignore. So so I caught myself doing the same thing. I was kind of saying, oh no, this thing again. I had quiet from this. I was going through the same thing, like exactly. And I just had to sit there and analyze why it came back. How do I neutralize it? What do I need to do? Just doing the same exact processes you guys are doing with it, just basically. Um, I'll try to. This is a new comment. Wait a second. I definitely used to. I'm trying to follow the comment here, but let's. We are 20 minutes after. I know you guys are all busy. I'll try to. I'll try to write a post or maybe record a video or something about how to disarm that worry or the concern or the emotion so that you can treat the sound just as a sound, just as a sound that, yes, Patricia is right, it follows you, it doesn't stay in one place, but it's just a sound. So I'll try to focus on something that helps specifically with that point, and I'll try to share it with you guys soon. Um, Yeah, that's what I can do, I think. Okay,
Okay.
so if there's no other question, guys, I'll let you guys all go. Thank you so much for joining me. I
Thank you,
really
guys,
appreciate it.
everyone.
Hey, I'm gonna try and see what John was saying here. I definitely used to get more productive. I'm trying to keep up with the routines. Yeah, this is, by the way, one of the things. Before you guys all drop, just one thing. Remember that the tinnitus is comprised by different things. Your experience or symptoms or things are affecting different things. Your nervous system, your brain, your emotions. Just like there's a bunch of stuff going on at the same time, right? So this is why I keep talking about relaxation techniques, sound therapy to give you some other thing to listen, CBT techniques, ACT. These things work together. If you're doing just one of them or not doing some of them, and you're not in the right phase, it's not gonna work for you. So each one of those routines and techniques are providing some layer of tinnitus habituation. And you need, right now, probably most of you need most of those techniques. This is why this is really important that you keep this in mind. Don't just do one technique, or if you're not consistent with the techniques, you're not going to get the result that you want until your brain starts doing stuff automatically. So I'll just leave you with that. Oh, sorry. Okay, well, thank you so much, guys, and I'll see you the next time. And I'll try to write that post as quickly as soon as I can.
Okay, nice meeting everybody again. We'll see you again.
Take
Yeah,
care.
yeah, it's really nice. I'm happy that we have people, and that we can connect to each other and share experiences. It's really cool. It's really nice. So thank you, guys.